What's up, everybody? We are back, making sure everything is set on the head. So let's see what we have. Like I was saying, engine head is completely ready to go. It has all the assembly lube in there. Everything's tied in. Bolts, let's see, the first 10, which is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Those are all torqued to 168 inch-pounds. And then 11, 12, 13, 14, those are torqued to 104 inch-pounds. Obviously, I went hand tie 1 through 14, went a little more hand tie, went with the torque wrench again, 1 through 14, and then obviously when they're ready to get torqued, I hit those with 168 in order up until 10, and then once I hit 11, that's where I changed the knob to 104 inch-pounds, and that's when I did 11, 12, 13, 14. So the whole thing is ready to go. On the other side here with the cam gear, you can tell that it's on time. It's at TDC. Same thing here. So we're ready to go. All right, guys, before the head goes on the block, just wanted to show you guys a quick breakdown of what was done to the head at the machine shop. These guys did a fantastic job. And first off, they did tear it down and they inspected it. They also did a jet wash on the head. That's why it looks so freaking great. I love it. And let's see, upon inspection, they did find two problems. So the first problem had to do with the valve springs. So the valve springs, these valve springs are progressive springs, or directional for that matter. So that basically means that they do have a certain way that they're supposed to go in first. Previous owner's not sure who, they installed the springs incorrectly. So on the actual spring, if you guys take a look at them, they do have one side that is on the coil that's more loose, and the other side is more tightly packed. So they installed it the incorrect way by putting the loose coil side in first, when the tighter side of the coil is supposed to go in first. So that's the correct way to go about it. So they went ahead and tended the ones that were incorrectly installed, and they corrected that. So that's all good to go. Second problem that they found was one of the one of the valves was cracked. I do have the valve in a Ziploc bag. I'll show you guys later. But they were nice enough to install a used OEM valve free of charge, so I was greatly appreciated. And then another problem that I had pointed out to them before the inspection was on the valve cover bolts. These 5, right? 1, 2, 3, 4. It was 4 and then 5. I noticed that 2 or 3 out of 5 of them, I would tighten them, but then they would just keep spinning. So obviously, I thought it was broken, but when I pulled the bolt out, it wasn't broken. Instead, I saw metal shaving. So I was like, oh crap, another Healy coil. So I made note of that. I told them. They went ahead and inserted time certs. So they did a phenomenal job. I'm very happy with it. You see there. So all 5 of them have it. So that's perfect. And then they also, on the chamber side, here, let me show you guys the chamber side. Yeah, so on the chamber side, they did wire wheel all the chambers and the valves. And then also they lapped the 16 valves. So we're good to go. In case you guys are wondering, just so as a point of reference, when it's at TDC, the 2 intake valves on cylinder number 2 are supposed to be propped open. Likewise, on number 3, not the intake, but the exhaust valves are going to be propped open. And then 4 also has its valves closed. I believe it's just overlap because 1 is the one that's at TDC. So we're back over here. As you guys saw last time, I was cleaning all this, right? The piston crowns inside of the combustion chamber. So at this point, everywhere it's silver, it's supposed to be clean, or at least where the head makes contact. So I noticed these spots here, like there, that it's supposed to be cleaned off. So I'm gonna go ahead and just get some acetone. Everything else looks phenomenal. In case you guys are curious, I did check the deck of the block, the specs and the clearance. You're supposed to use a straight edge, and then you're also supposed to use a feeler gauge, 0.02 of an inch to be exact, or 0.05 millimeters. So when you're measuring, you're supposed to put the straight edge across, horizontal first. It doesn't really matter, but horizontal. And then you go ahead and put it vertical. I put it on the side of cylinder number 1, and then between 1 and 2, 2 and 3, 3 and 4, and on the side of 4. And then you can also go diagonal, I believe. That way as well. You should be good. So to make the test fair, you are supposed to be using, you're not supposed to, but it's a good idea to use your other hand. Obviously I'm recording here, so you would use one hand with the feeler gauge, put your other hand on the actual straight edge, because do take into account that when you install the head, there is torque, there is pressure, so you somewhat mimic that pressure with your other hand. So anyways, I checked it, we're within spec, it's all good. In case you guys are curious to see how it looks, you just go ahead and like slightly tap it. So we're good. I checked all the spots, so we're solid. I will say this though, if your block is out of spec, you are in trouble. You have to take out the block and take it to the machine shop, have them machine it, resurface it, mill it, whatever they have to do to get it back in spec. So it's always good to just double check your clearance. That way you don't run into overheating issue again. And I'm pretty sure you or them, you guys will know what kind of specs you want. Either have it shaved 0.02 of an inch. It's all gonna depend on your head and block setup, power goals, etc., etc. So yeah, just note to mind.